Hello and Happy New Year 2026. I just wanted to thank you all for all the comments we've gotten from all the films we made 2025, and all the messages, comments have been read. Some of them we have answered in the comment section of YouTube. Some of you I have answered with private messages in YouTube or with email or whatever the way of you reaching us was. We've gotten some super good comments, and we want you to keep those comments coming, because that's how we can make this content better. I thought that we answered today in this film some of the thoughts, maybe concerns that we've gotten, and we have one way of looking at things which I have a background of being a professional driver before, but I've quite some time now worked for Volvo Trucks. We look at things from Volvo Trucks perspective, obviously, and then you might have another view to things, and then just drop your comments and let's discuss. And of course, I want to be humble, and if for instance, or I see this as an opportunity to learn myself as well. So I appreciate all the comments, no matter if you agree or disagree with us. And if we go back into one of the first films we did, we were around here talking about tires, and by that time the weather was not like this. I was foreseeing this day to come, and now it's actually about -5 Celsius degrees here. It's when the weather in Nordic is in between plus and -5, and you have snow on ground. This is when snow and ice is as slippery as it can be. And we were trying to foresee a little bit to the future, that how can you keep these trucks moving. And we talked about winter tires, and specifically what pressures you should put into these tires. We got some comments that people were a little bit questioning whether you can have a slow pressure on drive axle as 5.5, and some were making comments that they drive with 9 or 10 bars on all tires and so on. Now the weather here in Finland today is really challenging. So if I would have 10 bars in these drive axle tires today, and I would need to stop into traffic lights, when heavy traffic slows down, that polishes all the junctions, and they are really slippery. And the point of the original film was to put in the recommended pressure to make the contact to the ground as big as possible and make the tire function as it should. And then I had to go back and check what do different tire manufacturers recommend. And on drive axle, if you have dual wheel installation with these Nordic combinations, some tire manufacturers were saying that 5.5 could be in certain loads the correct pressure. 6.5 was quite common in normal axle weights. Then I contacted some of our driver trainers, some tire experts. If you have a timber truck running in Nordic countries, typically many of them run with overinflated, and that will also make the tire skid more, and that's basically how you wear out tire really fast. So it is a common mistake to put in too much. Then one of the comments was that it saves fuel to drive with high pressure. I asked from our press test department where they optimize fuel consumption for fuel testing. They said that they put 9 bar into the tires they don't worry about how fast the tires wear out. They are only focusing on to make the trucks go as low in terms of fuel consumption as possible. And they said that they put in 9 bars, but even they said that 10 bars is way too much, that you shouldn't be doing. So at least for those who commented that you put in 10 bars, that's a lot, and in this kind of weather you are just stuck everywhere. And I can see here in Helsinki region that some of the foreign trucks who have come here with a little bit non-optimal tires for the weather, and on top if you have really high pressure, you will be stuck everywhere. Running the tires in recommended pressure will just make your life easier. So that was the original point. We will probably need to make another film of tires, but that will be a little bit later. We've gotten a lot of ideas for films from you out there, and we are planning to do at least some of those. We have right now like 43 ideas of different films, and we do them when we have time and place to do them. So keep those ideas coming, and let's try to make good stuff for you. Then another film that has caused a lot of comments, both in the comment sections but also some private messages. We talked about connecting a trailer, and one of the comments was from our trainer Koit in Estonia, that when we made a point that you should connect the yellow line, the service line first, and then the red one, so that would add a safety layer. Koit is right. It's only valid if you have a truck that puts brakes on when you apply parking brake on a truck. So then if you have a truck that you drive and you know that the brakes on a trailer are not on if you apply parking brakes on truck, then the order of these doesn't really make difference. And the only way to ensure that the brakes are on in the trailer is to pull out that red parking brake valve from the end of the trailer. And this is a tip for Europe, because that's how the trailers in Europe work. So if you are in other side of the world, you need to read the instructions for your local trailers separately. But the common mistake in Europe is that the trailer parking brakes are not being used, and the risk we have with that is that if you have not activated the parking brake from the trailer, from the red tap, if air leaks out of the trailer, there's a point in time when the service brakes give up and the spring brakes are not yet on, and that may cause that the trailer starts moving on its own. And if you're not there yourself, that could be really risky situation. And also when you're hooking up a trailer, just by making sure that the parking brakes on the trailer are on will make your own work safety much better. So use the red tap to apply parking brakes on the trailer when you park a trailer, and you'll be much more safer, and you don't drop or lose trailers because of that. Another thing that caused some comments was when we talked about air drag, and if you increase the speed of a truck by 1 kilometer per hour, there were two kinds of comments. One is that when you need to go, you need to go. Of course, when you haul cargo, you cannot miss your deliveries or pickups. That's obvious, but the whole point was that when you drive during daytime in Europe, you drive in traffic and you cannot really fight against the flow of traffic. So it's hard to go faster than what the flow goes. And then if you stop fighting against it, you will save some fuel. And there we talked that if you click your speed down by 1 kilometer per hour, you save 0.5 liters per every 100 kilometers driven. And if you don't need to drive more than 700 kilometers in Europe daytime, 85 kilometers per hour, 53 miles per hour is often enough to get your work done. That was the original point. Then we got some really accurate comments that with certain rear axle ratio, weight, route profile, you will not be able to run in optimum rev range, and therefore if you drop the speed down, the fuel consumption goes up. We were in that film only talking about air drag, that how the air sticks in front of the cab. We will drill into the other factors around fuel consumption in our next films when we have time to do them. But if you drive on flat roads, you have a normal spec, nothing unusual. When your speed is more than 60 kilometers per hour, the air drag is the dominant thing to optimize, and the cruising speed when you're driving fast, that's the most dominating factor in your fuel consumption. And if you don't gain anything by driving faster, it just doesn't make sense, at least from cost perspective. But let's drill into the rear axle ratio, how the truck drivetrain works, and for instance how the weight of your combination and hills and everything impact fuel consumption in our later films. We made the first film quite straightforward, but of course we can dig deeper, and if we look at the other factors when you're driving, air drag is the biggest, then probably the second biggest is that you drive the engine at optimum rev range and engine load, and we can look into that, how we can do that in our later film. But I want to thank you for all the comments. Thank you for watching us, and throw in your comments. You don't need to agree with us. You can disagree and we can discuss it, and we can make a film and test things out. Also, if you have any ideas of what kind of films you would want to see, please drop them in. We have some interesting guests coming who have contacted us that they would want to collaborate, make films with us. That will be super nice. We have a queue of trucks that people would want us to test, and we have access to those trucks, so it's more a matter of time when we have time to do those. And we have some really cool places where we want to visit and take you to. We have a few customers who have said to us that please come and visit us. So it will be a lot of cool stuff coming year 2026 to this playlist. So keep your comments coming, and see you around. Bye.